Hi everyone. Very good evening, good morning, good afternoon, where are you joining us from? We'll be starting the session right on time in few minutes. Meanwhile, let's give a little bit of introductions about yourselves on the chat here. So I'm Risha Khan. I'm your host for today's webinar. I'm joining all the way from Bangalore, India. Would love to know where are you tuning in from. So drop us a hello by putting down your name and your location, where are you tuning in from, and we can just have a little bit of interaction and conversation on the chat here. I see introductions have already started coming in on the chat. I see Kalyani has joined us, says hello. And I see Akansha has joined us. Would love to know, Akansha, where are you joining us from? And also, folks, we're streaming live on our YouTube channel as well. And I see a lot of folks have joined us there as well. I see somebody says hi. Hi, Samir. I see Deepyan here. I see Eriba here joined us from UK. Doris says hello. Awesome. Keep the introductions coming in. We'll just start the session right on time in a few minutes. I see Rijo has joined us from Oman. Welcome. I see Hani says hi, and I see Mohammed also says hi, and joining from Bangladesh here from YouTube. Meanwhile, I see a lot of new folks are joining in. Let's start with few quick ground rules here, which will definitely help you with a better experience of the webinar. So the first ground rule here is you have to put down your questions in the Q&A box. So now Q&A box is just beside the chat box, where we can see your amazing introductions coming in. And our speakers will be taking questions in the Q&A box, so that will really help us. So what happens is we get a lot of messages on chat, and that definitely makes us lose your questions here. And we would want to address as many quizzes as possible you might have about product management in general and about the UC San Diego program, which we'll be covering today. And the session is being recorded. In case you want to go through the recording of session once again, in case you miss anything, please don't worry. We will send you the recording link with the follow-up email, which you can look out for. And also talking about the webinar certificate, that is for attending this webinar. The program is different, the webinar is different, just to clear it out. Also, to request a proof of attendance, you will have to basically put on your full name in the post-webinar survey by Zoom here. So when does it exactly happen? So this webinar is of 60 minutes of duration, and towards the end, the post-webinar survey by Zoom will pop up where it will ask you to put on your full name, which we will need basically to give you that personalized certificate for attending the webinar. And I see a lot of new folks have joined in while I was taking you through the ground rules here. In case you missed it, please don't worry. I'll be nudging about the ground rules on the chat as well throughout the session. Also, let's quickly take you through the agenda of today's session. The first and the most important agenda of today's session is about you getting to know a little bit about you, how we can help you out in your product management career better, and also address as many queries as possible you might have about the program or product management career. I will be talking about what this program by UC San Diego offers, how this program gets you future ready. We'll be sharing with you learning outcomes, enrollment steps of the program once you basically share your interest towards enrollment, would want to explore it more, and there'll be a special duration towards the end for the Q&A part. So now the Q&A part is towards the end. But in case our speakers get some time to feed, they will definitely address as many quizzes as possible as well, if the time allows. And moving on to the next slide here. So starting with, as I said, we'll be getting to know a little bit about you. We'll be starting with the first poll here, which says that how many years of experience do you currently have? Let me just quickly launch the poll for you. And I see someone has Pranandya has joined us from India, and Saurabh has joined us from Bangalore. And I see someone saying that I'm speaking too fast. I'm so sorry. I'll try to keep it a little slow. Let me know if I'm going too fast. I've launched the poll and I see most of you have responded for the poll, but let's give it 10 15 seconds more. I see more introductions coming in the chat. Daniel has joined us from Lagos, Nigeria. Kunde from Lagos, Nigeria. I see Williams replying on the chat more than 27 years. The poll couldn't cover that experience for sure. Great to have you here, Williams. Awesome. I think last 5 seconds for the poll here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me quickly end the poll and also share the results with you folks and our speakers. Let's see what have you voted for. I see 34% of the votes you have gotten for less than 2 years of experience. 32% of the votes for more than 10 years of experience. Interesting. 18% of the votes for 2 to 5 years of experience. 16% of the votes for 6 to 10 years of experience. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. That definitely gives us an understanding and our speakers as well, how to tailor the responses accordingly during the webinar. Now that we know, how many years of experience you currently have. Moving on to the next slide here, welcoming our first speaker here, Nathan Owens. Nathan here is the Associate Director and of Strategic Initiatives in UC San Diego. He's been with the Division of Extended Studies since 2001 and has been working in a variety of roles here. He's also an alumnus of UC San Diego, a 1995 batch. Nathan, welcome. It's always a pleasure hosting you. Would you like to say something to the audience here before we start the session?
Sure. Thank you, Rasha. And thank you to everybody who's tuned in today to learn more about this exciting program that UC San Diego is offering in partnership with Simplilearn. So as the brief bio here says, I've served in a variety of roles at the Division of Extended Studies, a lot of it focusing on innovation and entrepreneurship, but more recently I've been working with our corporate education and custom training team where I develop new partnerships like this one. So I'm thrilled to have you all here, and I hope you learn a lot about the program and hope that it fits what you're looking for in terms of your professional development.
Thank you so much, Nathan, for introduction. Welcome once again. Moving on to the next introduction here of our speaker, Suryansh Chaudhary. Suryansh here is the former product owner at Accenture. He's headed product teams in tech and in tech sector. He has also been a seasoned trainer at Simplilearn. He's also an entrepreneur and trainer for business schools and has 5+ years of corporate and product trainings of experiences. I'm pretty sure the slide does not cover Suryansh, like how much experience and all the work you've done. We would love to know it from you as well.
Thank you so much, Rasha. Hi, all. Good evening. Nice to see so many aspiring learners over there. I worked in Accenture for a couple of years at Bangalore. So I see many people are there from Bangalore itself. I was working at the oldest office of Accenture in Bangalore. Another thing, I've been a panelist and a Simplilearn trainer. I've also developed capstone projects and content. I'm a regular trainer for product management and capstone projects along with career counseling at Simplilearn. And that's it, Rasha. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Suryansh, for your introduction. We'll be starting the session now, talking about the critical role of product management here. Starting with the first slide here. Over to you, Suryansh.
I think, Rasha, let's do it this way. I'll tell you a small story. Rasha, am I audible?
I think
Fine, right?
there is a little disturbance. Is it me? Or like, yeah, audio issue, I think, yeah.
Okay, am I audible now?
Yes, I think you're
Am I
audible
audible
now.
now?
Please do let us know, folks.
Thank you. Yeah. All right. Thanks, Rasha, for letting me know. All right, learners. When I started on my own, so the selling point for my edtech was my feedback. Learners used to love the feedback that I used to give. All right. Then I developed a platform where I could share those feedback. Another thing which I got from learners was, hi, sir. Hi, Suryansh. We would like to have a kind of record where we can see all our feedbacks. So I developed with my tech team analytic reports for individual learners on their performances. You could say it went to such an extent that even the parents of younger learners loved it. Again, it was, now, sir, we would like to see analytical reports of others. So we launched our own social media feed. That's how, from a small online learning coaching center, we transformed into more of a tech based platform. Rasha, I think you rightly mentioned over here that users demand more, better, and fit for purpose function. This is something that a PM would have to do on a daily basis. Therefore, all learners present over here, you're going to have an amazing time doing this role, because every now and then you're going to be interacting either with clients, every now and then we'll be interacting with tech, marketing, finance, recruitment. Therefore, whatever goes in development of this iPhone, or even let's say WhatsApp or Instagram, you're going to be the one solely responsible. So the level of exposure you're going to get as a PM, and the responsibility that you carry on your shoulders is hard to find in any other roles. What do you think, Rasha?
Agree to that. Moving on to the next slide here, talking about how exactly product management has become the hub of the business, Suryansh.
Sure. Learners 19 industries in Accenture, and all industries had to prepare something known as their monthly reports, which could cover client visits, which would cover thought leadership papers, which would cover, let's say, if they had any new product being developed with a partner within Accenture. Now, what happened? Since I joined as a PM, I was given a task with the team that, Suryansh, it's getting a little irritating to go through so many Excel files. We would like to have a command and control center wherein, with one click, Rasha and everyone, the leadership team would know that in public for manufacturing clients. So I was tasked with the team to create this kind of a product. Now, remember this, learners, the principle of product management was at the center of everything, because we had to interact with tech leads, and then time to time come up with certain deliverables for the leadership. And believe me, it was a huge resistance from client side or from the user side, because they were comfortable Excel. But let me tell you, after 1 or 2 weeks of getting their hands on, nobody wanted to go back to Excel. Therefore, a product manager will right applications can transform businesses. You not only create, you always have to convince users to use your product. And that gets a little problematic. Rasha, over to you.
Thank you so much, Suryansh, for taking us to how product management has become the hub of the business. A little bit of audio issue we're facing from your end. Maybe you can just check,
Just
with from
give
your
me a
end
second.
once.
What I'll do is, yeah, what I'll do is I'll just quickly switch to a different network also, so that we'll get good. Just give me a
Sure,
minute.
sure, sure. Please do that. Meanwhile, folks, we have the Q&A box open for you. We saw a lot of you joining in the last 10 minutes. So if you have any questions, I'm pretty sure you're here because you are interested in the career in project management. So you can put all your questions in the Q&A box, and we will be addressing your questions, whenever the speakers can. So please do that. Please utilize this time where speaker is just getting his
I'm good.
audio.
I'm good, Rasha. I'm good. I just checked again. I'm getting around 230 Mbps of speed.
Okay, okay, okay. So I'm not sure like what is the issue happening here.
No worries at all, Rasha. Let's continue.
Sure, sure. We will be moving on to the next slide here, talking about the well-rounded set of skills you need to become, a product
Sure.
management expert.
Rasha, let's consider this scenario. You are a client over here, and you would like to make something like, let's say, Facebook, right? And you are a client over here who needs or who has good business knowledge, right? Now, let's consider I am the product manager. So you task me that, hey, Suryansh, I would like you to make a product like Facebook. That's it. You don't like to waste time going around, talking to tech team, talking to marketing, so on and so forth. Therefore, Rasha, as a product manager, your day will encompass all of the skills that are mentioned in this slide over here. On a regular basis, you will be interacting with tech team. When you interact with tech team, you would be covering aspects like agile. You will be learning aspects of these days, especially AI and ML. You will understand the thought process behind a UI UX process. What does a UI UX designer go through when he's planning to create a beautiful design of your platform? At the same time, you'll interact with clients just to know their feedbacks and then again go back to the tech team to make those changes. As and when things proceed, you're going to go ahead with something known as go to market, wherein you're going to interact, you're going to go ahead, you're going to sell it, you're going to learn digital marketing, social media marketing, whatever you could think of. Therefore, this particular role will encompass skills related to tech, management, as well as a lot of implementation of soft skills, because you will be interacting now and then with people and you learn a lot about people's management. Therefore, as we have rightly categorized skills under tech, product development, and go to market, all these skills are bread and butter for any product manager. That doesn't mean if you don't have a tech background, you're not going to do this role. It supports very well to those learners who do not have any tech background as well. Sure, Rasha. So these are the skills that we'll be looking at. And these days, I would suggest agile methodologies and AI ML applications are gaining a lot of traction, because as we see the applications of ChatGPT, GenCraft, and other LLMs, therefore these are gaining a lot of tractions. One more interesting part, learners, is user behavior, user expectations, and user persona that we see in go to market. So learners, in this scenario, you'll actually get to know the needs of a user, and believe me, they are not the same what they say. As you know, Ford also used to say that if I had asked people what they want, they would have told faster horses. Therefore, the logic that goes behind understanding what is the actual need, this is what a PM will face on a daily basis. And of course, since Rasha has given you the task, so you will be responsible for the overall strategy. You will be responsible what deliverables you will have. Obviously, you will not make it in one day, right? In 1 week, you will give a prototype, and next week, you will give something. So, yes, we'll cover extensively these skills. Rasha, over to you.
Agree to that. It sounds pretty interesting. So let's move on to the next slide here. So now that we've talked about the skills here, we've talked about what exactly a product manager does, and I'm pretty sure folks here are interested in somehow, exploring the product management careers aspect here. So we would love to know what exactly is stopping you from becoming an expert product manager here. So I'm just launching a quick poll here to understand what exactly is stopping you from becoming an expert product manager. This is a multiple choice question, so you can select multiple options here. I'm just reading out these options for you loud here as well, while you have already started voting it. So the first option here is I can't find a program with a fully comprehensive curriculum. Second one here, I wouldn't get the practical exposure I need to become job ready. Third one, I find it difficult to learn from pre-recorded videos. And the fourth one, my work schedule won't allow me enough time to learn. I see you folks have already started basically responding to the poll here. And I see a chat message here saying that please, there is no visual from my end. Is the presentation basically visible to you folks? Please do let us know by just responding yes or no. I can see that it's visible. We're streaming live on YouTube channel as well. Can be a tech issue also, like from your end. So please do check that as well. So I think I see someone responding as yes, visible. Um, please do check out, like, I'm not able to make out your name from email ID, that someone who has mentioned there's a visual. Just check out. That might be a tech issue from your end. Maybe you can leave and rejoin once. Thank you, folks, for letting me know. Thank you so much. I see most of you responded for the poll here. Basically, what's stopping you from becoming an expert product manager? So let's give it 5 seconds more for the poll who folks who are still voting for it. And I see questions have already started coming in the Q&A box. So that's great. Also, folks, this is a really good time. We will be starting the program review after this poll. And in case you have any questions about product management career in general, or also the program, please do let us know in the Q&A box. We are here to address your queries and help you out as much as possible. Awesome. I think I'll be ending the poll now. For the poll which is live now, what's stopping you from becoming an expert product manager here and sharing results with you. Thank you so much for sharing your responses there. Let's see what have you voted for. 56% of you are saying that I wouldn't get the practical exposure I need to become job ready. 30% of you are saying that my work schedule won't allow me for enough time for learning, and 29% of you are responding for I can't find a program with a fully comprehensive curriculum, and 14% of you have responded for I find it difficult to learn to recorded videos. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. That definitely gives us and our speakers understanding what are the challenges you're facing when it comes to pursuing a career in product management. So yeah, starting with the introduction of the program here, talking about the product management professional program by UC San Diego. Nathan, over to you.
Thanks, Rasha. So like Suryanush just described, product management involves a lot of different skills and dealing with a lot of different inputs and making balances and trade-offs and decisions to come up with the right product that people will be interested in buying. So this program is comprehensive. It does cover everything from an introduction to what is product management to using all these different tools that we'll talk about later in a more advanced way. It is practical, it's hands-on. There are some case studies that you'll go through. There is a capstone exercise that we'll talk about here in a bit. And then this is all done through a platform, the learning management system, that is highly interactive. It has a great user interface and very easy to navigate. And we'll show you some examples of that. And it includes live interaction with your instructors and with your fellow students to make it more engaging and accessible for you. And then also because it is online, it is a little bit more flexible, right? You don't always have to be in a classroom at a given time on a given day in order to get into the curriculum and do the work. The program does take 8 months with an average weekly workload of about 10 to 15 hours. So that's also important to know when you're looking to set aside time for this training program.
Thank you so much, Nathan, for talking about the program introduction here. Also, let's talk about the UC San Diego advantage here. What makes the product management professional program different from other programs here, and what is the advantage here exactly?
Sure. So if you're not familiar with the University of California system, it is one of the top public university systems in the United States, making up 10 different campuses. San Diego is one of them, and UC San Diego has been rated the #1 Golden Age university by Times Higher Education. And by Golden Age, they mean founded after the Second World War. So UC San Diego was founded in 1960. The Division of Extended Studies, where I am based and where this program is hosted, was founded in 1966. And we are the sort of outreach arm of the university providing continuing education and professional development to the broader community, whether that's local in San Diego or anywhere else in the world through online learning classes such as this one. We are like the university itself in many ways. We have 14 different areas of learning, over 100 certificate programs, and we offer thousands of courses with thousands of instructors. The number as far as students there is a little bit outdated. We have over 40,000 people taking our courses just within the Division of Extended Studies. That's separate from the 4-year and advanced degree programs on the main campus. So we are very comprehensive in our curriculum and comprehensive in our reach. And this program, like what Extended Studies is designed to do, is to help people get their professional and personal goals met and achieved and be successful in whatever they hope to do, whether that's to start a new career, to get a promotion, or just be more well-rounded in the skills that you have. So we're excited to offer this product management course to you. And through this product management course, in addition to experienced instructors such as Suryanush here, there are also some program advisors who will lead Masterclass webinars on a couple occasions throughout the program. And these are people such as the one shown here, Nick Caceres, who is a product manager in his daily life. He does this as his regular job, and he will take some time out of his job to come in and spend time with you and teach a masterclass webinar and provide some access, knowledge and expertise that he's gained throughout his career and share that with you. So this again is trying to provide more practical and applied knowledge to you as the learner. This is not just purely theoretical. These are the things you need to know in order to be successful as a product manager, and it's coming from product managers themselves.
Thank you so much, Nathan, for sharing that. Talking about the eligibility and the prerequisites of the program here. I think we have gotten few questions of if I'm eligible to take up this program or not. So you need to have a bachelor's degree in any background here, and you need to have willingness to advance your professional journey through the program. Also, 2 years of work experience is preferred, not compulsory to take up the program. Moving on to the next agenda of today's session, how this program prepares you. Starting with how this program builds your product management skills step by step. So, Ryansh, would you take us through these steps here?
Thank you, Rasha. Learners, when I joined Accenture, this was my first job and my role as a product manager, right? And when I joined over there, I was not given the responsibility that I am explaining to you all right now. What had happened, I was made in charge of just one particular category of industries which were related to finance. There, I got to get some exposure related to tech, content, getting to know the team, so on and so forth. Once it was realized that okay, he's getting good exposure and he's able to do the finance role pretty well of the product manager, finance industry role, let's see if he can handle the entire product itself. That's when my interactions, learners, increased exponentially with the tech team and especially with the go to market. That's how I climbed the ladder of a product manager in Accenture. Now it's good news for you that entire ladder is covered in the slide that you're showing over there. Your session or your, let's say, career over here would begin with an induction for product management program, wherein you will be told as a PM what roles and responsibilities or what a role of a PM is. Apart from that, you'll cover the user experience research. I'll tell you something, you know, many a times as a product manager, the first thing that goes into clearance is the design of the product. Where should the home button be? Where should the have you as you use LinkedIn or WhatsApp, the entire UI that he's saying, that's the first thing that goes for approval once the development starts. Therefore, if a product manager has got zero know about of UI UX, then it's not going to work. Therefore, you begin your foundation for a product management with user experience. Get to know what UI UX is all about. And then, of course, once you've got some exposure, you go on to designing products. And believe me, learners, this is the most, let's say, creative and the lovable part because it depends entirely on your creativity. You would like to create a portfolio website, you would like to create an instant messaging platform. It is your creativity on how you do it. Therefore, learn some principles from the UI UX research and implement them while designing your products. Once your product is ready, you go on to tell customers, tell your users that hey, I've made this WhatsApp, why don't you try it out? This is where your go to market comes in, and that's where your product marketing for product managers presents. And once you get some good feedbacks, okay, this design is good, this is not good, maybe the home button should be here, maybe add a chat button should be there, so on and so forth. This is where things get even better because you interact with the team which is called the tech team. And there you're going to get bombarded with lots and lots of challenges because they'll ask you lots and lots of logic behind certain concepts. And this is where you learn the most. And once you go ahead with this, there are some professional tools. For example, Google Analytics, Mixpanel, Jira, Balsamic. You need these tools so that you can analyze how your product is performing. And once you're done this, it's time for you to implement. This is there as a part of the capstone project. So learners, entire learning curriculum, as what we are seeing over here, the program builds product management skills step by step, is being made keeping in mind the journey of a product manager. Therefore, the final capstone that you are seeing, which we'll cover in detail as we go ahead, will cover all the steps that you have currently noticed. Therefore, this is how from the very scratch, even you're from tech or non-tech background, it's fine. From the scratch, you get exposure and hands-on experience till the time you go ahead with your capstone. Over to you, Rasha. You can, go ahead with the electives.
Thank you so much, Suryansh, for taking us through these steps here. Talking about the electives. So elective comes as a part of the program, but they are optional. So the electives which are part of the program here are masterclasses by UC San Diego Division of Extended Studies, product management masterclasses by industry experts, product lead-on sessions, AI-powered product management here. We'll be showing you the live learning environment of the
Also,
program as
Rasha,
well.
if you don't mind, can I add one more point over here? I just
Sure,
saw
sure.
learners, you see that product tear down sessions over here. Rasha, can you just highlight that product tear down sessions?
Yeah, sure.
Learners,
So,
these are the most, it's fine. Just move your cursor there, right?
yeah.
Learners, this would be, it is, how would I say, it's the most fun part of a PM's, course. You know why? If you're going to pick up any tech product, it could be Uber, it could be WhatsApp, it could be Uber Eats, it could be simple as Gmail. And we're going to tear that product down, each and every feature, and rebuild that product based on what all suggestions and feedbacks we have. And then we pitch it to someone who either belongs to that industry or, is a former or is a working PM. When we conduct these product tear down sessions, learners, it is the most, what do you say, the best learning experience for a PM. Sorry, Rasha, you can continue.
No, no, no. That is definitely interesting, and we actually have a few clips, of the sessions also to show it to them. We'll be showing them after the learning environment live showcase here. Now that we've talked about the skills, how exactly the skills are built through this program and product management, talking about the how you can master these in-demand product management tools as well.
Thank you, Rasha. Learners, let's say you have a certain idea in your mind and you feel that, Suryansh, let's get together and why don't we create our own video conferencing software or a product like Zoom, right? Definitely, you're not going to hire 10 developers and start developing. You would be creating some kind of a design with which you can take feedbacks. The chat option should be here. For example, as you can see, the Q&A option, chat option, video option, right? For example, the mute option. You click on it, it goes on mute. You click on it, it goes on mute. The other way of doing it is you see an arrow up, which could help you mute or unmute, right? You'll cover all of these things, how to make these things and why to make them in certain way through Balsamiq. This is the foundation learners for any product manager. Entire product development begins with the Balsamiq usage. Now, what it does and all, we'll see how the journey progresses. Learners, another tool, Figma, does the same job. Google Analytics and Mixpanel learners, these tools, you know, just imagine this, you are the CEO of Amazon and you've launched this sale period, or maybe it's Black Friday sale going on. It is providing you a live telecast on how the platform is performing. So you can see live, like a cricket match, how, which geographical region, which product, at what time is being sold most or is being viewed most. So these tools provide you a live exposure to what is happening at your platform, which we'll cover as a part of this course. And of course, since I told you you'll be interacting with lots of teams like tech teams, marketing, finance, HR, you need some kind of a software to run your teams, right? Which work is done by whom in the tech team. That's where Jira comes in. So this, as far as I can see, and there are obviously many more tools that we'll cover, but these tools, as a PM, I used it on a regular or a daily basis. Therefore, we'll be having good hands-on exposure on these tools, wherein you will be using these tools as a part of the curriculum. Over to you, Rash.
Thank you so much, Suryansh, for taking us through these tools here, which we cover in the program. Also talking about the most important thing, the capstone project. I think you've already mentioned about the capstone project, but what exactly are capstone projects
Sure.
and how does it help folks who basically come from no experience to be able to showcase their experience in product management?
Sure. All right, learners. I believe. Thanks, Rasha, for that. Learners, let me, ask you a quick question. Let's say today Nathan is from, let's say, marketing. Rasha is, let's say, working in HR, and I am, let's say, someone who has a good experience in hardware. Be a possibility, right? And we decide to switch to a product management role. Now, one thing is that there are hundreds and hundreds of other people who would be doing the same. There will be people who will be already in that role or who would be taking this course, so on and so forth. These scenarios will happen. But there has to be some way Rasha, Nathan, and Suryansh need to stand out from others. This is where learners, your capstones come in. Because, as we'll see the next slide also, learners, a capstone project will cover all aspect of whatever you know as a product manager. For example, a capstone project, let's take an example wherein we say Dell or let's say HP would like to move not more as a product based company, hard selling laptops and all, but they would like to sell as an ecosystem, or maybe they're looking to sell something more on a service line based. Maybe they would like to sell their data analytics feature, their cloud services, so on and so could be. How would you make this happen for HP or Dell? Imagine you're going to solve this problem live. You're going to see what these companies sell, you're going to see what these services they are planning, and then you're going to design products and services to pitch customers. And the best part, you're going to even create these services using Figma or Balsamiq. Now let's say this, maybe all three of us are not from tech background, we want to switch to PM's role. If Rasha has done similar 4 or 5 capstones, I have done 4 or 5 capstones, Nathan has done 4 or 5 capstones, and we show this in our resume that we have transformed HP from a product based, let's say, company to, let's say, a more of a services based. Now this adds a lot of weightage to our expertise. Not only we are telling I'm a aspiring product manager, I'm also showing that I have created wireframe solving this problem. That means I have the ability to think what the problem was, think of a solution, and then make that solution in the form of an app. This speaks volumes, learners, or what you have learned. That's the reason capstones are the make or break in any curriculum. And Rasha, if you go to the next slide, the good part over here, learners, is that we'll be covering capstones of all the latest tech products in the market. We'll be covering Tesla, Netflix, Nike. As you can see, for the Nike, do not just buy the shoe, join the ecosystem. So you got to create, learners, as a part of your capstone. And capstone is not only this picture, it's a good PDF which you have to read, analyze, and then go ahead and create. Imagine, learners, you're going to create an ecosystem of Nike users. They already have some kind of an ecosystem, but you're going to create an ecosystem based on tech. Similarly, for Netflix, you've already reached, let's say, some kind of a saturation. What else you do to, let's say, have an increase in subscribers? Imagine in your resume, you're putting that I have solved a Nike capstone with this problem statement. I have solved a Netflix Tesla capstone. You solve these capstones, put them in your resume with lots and lots of applications of tools that you'll be learning. I don't think switching to a PM career would be a challenge anymore. Over to you, Rash.
Agree to that. Talking about the learning management system here. So we will be taking you through the how exactly the learning management system looks like when you basically take up this program by using San Diego in product management. I will be giving access to Nathan to be able to share his screen so he can just quickly show you an overview of what exactly happens in the learning management system. All the things which we have talked about of the program so far, you will be able to see it in the learning management system, and Nathan will be able to show you a little glimpse of each and everything. So you have an understanding what exactly happens when you take up the program. What kind of experience do you get? So I think, Suryansh,
Yeah,
I
I'll just share
will,
my screen.
yeah, I will stop sharing my screen. So Suryansh can go ahead and share
Sure.
his screen. Yeah.
Learners, we have done enough of discussions. Let's see live as a learner what all is there for you at LMS. Learners, everyone do let me know when you can see my screen. Rasha, is it visible?
I can see it.
Yeah, yeah, it
You
is
can say,
visible.
thank you. Learners, this is where you land up as a part of your LMS. You just logged in, and let's say I am at this particular course, which is Product Management Professional Program. And you know what, let me see what I can do, what all I can do. Maybe I would just open any one module, and it says Introduction to Product Management. Let's go ahead and see what happens over here, Rasha and everyone. If I open this, I see an option which says self learning. Another option, let it load, it says live classes. This is where, learners, you will have your live classes once they begin. So available classes, past classes, self learning. And once you've completed both of them, you land up to open your certificate. Now let's say, while having a live class or while having self learning, You're sitting on your laptop or on your pad and you would like to underline or maybe take some notes, go ahead. You have an option of scribbling all the way, just as you do on your notebook. And while I was going through this particular course, suddenly I've got some doubts. So I've got an help center available with me through chat with already some queries, tech issues, or I've got some projects or lab issues already available for me to handle anytime. Now what I'll do is I'll just come back and see what else do I have over here. Maybe I'll just scroll down and I'll come. Okay, so this program certificate gets unlocked when you meet the certain criteria for getting the certificate. Let's see what's there in the capstone project. Now, as you can see, these are the capstones, some kind of a capstone that you will be looking at. You will be working on Instagram, Tesla, Nike, Netflix, Facebook, and you need to complete one project. Once you have done this, it is assessed, then you go ahead and you'll get your certificate ready. Learners, this is your one-stop place for managing your entire course. You can take your electives from here, and both the options of live classes and self-learning are also covered. Over to you, Rasha, now. And this is how, learners, your LMS would look like, and this is where all your live classes will turn up.
Thank you so much, Suryansh, for taking us to the learning management system of the program here. Also, now that you've shown the elements here, let me also give them a glimpse of what exactly happens during live interaction with the instructor here. So let me just play that a little snippet of the classroom video for the folks. Yeah.
Sure.
So I hope my screen is visible. Let me start playing it.
Yes, Rasha, it's visible.
Yeah.
Rasha, I think audio is not coming.
Yeah. I think it should be visible now. Then I'll play it. Okay, okay, okay. I'm pausing the video now. Is the voice audible?
You're audible, Rasha.
No, but the voice for the video is not audible. Is it? Oh, okay. So sorry. Let me just see. Should be audible actually.
By the time Rasha gets that audio check done, learners, because I personally take sessions for 3 modules in product management, let me tell you something. When these kind of management sessions take place, the learner, especially in the capstones, felicitates the discussion. Therefore, all 70, 80, how many learners are there? They pour in what thoughts they have for Nike, Tesla, and as a facilitator, I guide the discussions to a point where you solve the capstone. Therefore, it is, for example, today we are the ones who are talking. So when we come to capstone discussions, it is the participant who speaks more. And as facilitators, we guide and give feedbacks. We also share some of our experiences that we had solved capstones while appearing for product management interviews. Therefore, especially when I talk of my sessions that I conduct for tools, which you saw, Balsamic, Jira, and all, it's a 3 hour session wherein I make learners create Balsamic wireframes. They will be given a problem statement and they create on their own in the session a wireframe and they can send screenshot to me which I can evaluate. Therefore, sessions learners are more of participation based from the learners.
Thank you so much, Suryansh, for talking about the program. Meanwhile, I was just setting. Let me just try it again once. Let me know, folks, if it is audible to you.
Yep. And just so I don't know if everyone knows, but when you build mobile apps, they're actually it's almost like building 3 separate systems.
Is it audible? Is it? Is it
It's
audible?
audible, Rasha. It's
Okay,
audible.
I'll continue. I'll continue for a few moments. Let me just start.
You might have a web app, you might have an iOS or Apple app, and then an Android application, and they're actually 3 separate things. Yes.
Right, and then for
Okay.
this approach, I was trying to use a native mobile app, so yeah, it's not gonna be a web browser, but so yeah, it's gonna be through the Google Play Store and then the iOS App Store. That's our target.
Okay.
Let's see here. Yeah, I kind of made this too big, but here we can go back to the Trello, but that's kind of like the TLDR with my
Okay.
product.
So it's like a school with different classes and you have a couple different personas, it sounds like.
Right, so then you have like a dentist or like a course instructor that wants to like upload details or course material or videos. But then you also have students that want to, create an account and want to learn from these materials, like kind of like what we're doing with LMS. So it's parallel in that way.
So tell us what you did here, and I'd love to see how you use labels and categories.
Yeah, so there's the cool thing about Trello is like you can do a lot of things. What's funny is like me and my wife use it to track like our personal stuff. But in our work and have like an internal tool that's very similar to this as well. But kind of like what you were saying, Tammy, like these lists, or I forgot what the right term was, but these like categories that we have, yeah, you can break it up into anything. What I did was, well, we had user stories. I broke it into sprints because on my team we do like 2-week sprints. So I did like sprint A, sprint B for March. This is kind of like already in progress. Let me see if I can show you guys the label, but I was just kind of like having fun with it, but we had like a kickoff meeting. This is already complete. So I added a complete label here. And then for registration and login, we're kind of working our dev team kind of hard, but they're both working on these and they're both in progress. So I have this blue label here. I also in the title added like my own label just for tracking because it can.
So yeah, that is all. I will be able to show you this much only of the live classes, how it looks like, because we have a limited set of time here. Also, let me just plug back my earphones so there's no going back to the slide. So we just covered the learning management system of the program and also just shown you a clip of how exactly the learning environment with the instructor looks like, what kind of interaction happens during the live class. Moving on to the learner outcomes here. So interestingly, previous classes of this particular cohort in product management has consisted of learners coming from world-class organizations like Accenture, TCS, Infosys, IBM, Amazon, Cognizant, Dell, and hundreds to name more, and diverse industries like IT, computer software, internet, financial service, retail, and banking. Also, talking about the program outcomes here. So over to you, Suryansh. Sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry, over to you, Nathan. Sorry.
Well, I think either one of us can cover it, but Suryanish already did talk a lot about this. So yeah, the program, it's comprehensive, it's foundational, so you will start at the beginning and learn through all the more advanced tools that you'll need in order to be successful. Because it is practical and applied, you're going to be learning, problem solving as you go, how to develop, these roadmaps, how to solve problems, how to balance the different requirements from users and from the business side and all of that. The tools that were described earlier, that'll give you the data to make more informed decisions. And as Suryanis mentioned, AI and machine learning is becoming more and more prevalent in product management, so you'll go over that as part of the curriculum. And the ultimate goal of all this is to give you the skills and the tools that you need in order to be successful in your new product management career. So it's meant to be applied, it's meant to be real world, it's meant to be impactful for what you want to achieve as a aspiring product manager.
Agree to that, and also at the end of it all, we'll be getting a UC San Diego extended studies of award completion certificate here.
Sure. So in addition to, as you complete the modules within the learning management system, that will give you a little certificate that Suryanish covered, at the end of it, you will get an award of completion from UC San Diego's Division of Extended Studies. Simplilearn will provide their certificate. You'll have gone through those masterclass webinars I mentioned with experienced product managers in the field. And there will be an online convocation ceremony where you and your peers and other people from maybe your family, if you want to invite them, can all attend to celebrate your success in completing this program.
And we have Simplilearn's Job Assist program, which basically helps you with the job search, where you get access to IM Jobs Pro membership of 6 months for free, and resume building assistance to create a powerful resume, and also a spotlight on IM Jobs for helping your profile to the recruiter. So while you're getting out there, we basically try to assist you with this Simplilearn Job Assist program. Also, a lot of great companies that will be hiring for product management professionals. And just to name a few of them, which you can see on the screen: Amazon, LinkedIn, Oracle, Microsoft, Samsung, IBM, Walmart, Google, Facebook, being a few of them. And also, now that we have talked about what exactly a product manager does and how this program helps you, become an expert product manager here. So let's talk about how exactly are the salaries also soaring in the product management sector here. So as you can see here, this is a complete, basically, graph of starting with an associate assistant product manager within a year of 0 to 2 years of experience. For Indians, the salary here ranges from 5 lakh to 20 lakhs, and for US folks, ranging from 40K to 88.8K. It moves towards product manager, which basically requires for you to have an experience of 3 to 5 years. Similarly, for India, the salary here is of maximum of 27 lakhs INR, and for US, it is 153K dollars here. Moving to the senior product management role here, with and the level of experience of 4 to 6 years. Here also, for India, the maximum amount of salary is ranging towards 40 lakhs, and for US, 180K dollars here. And then you can basically move up towards product manager, director product management, VP product management, and chief product officer. For India, the salary here goes up to 30 lakhs INR, and for US, it goes up to 300K dollars here. For here, you need to have experience more than of the years here. So we have talked about the skills. We have talked about what exactly a product management professional does. We have talked about how this program by UC San Diego helps you build your product management skills. Step by step, we have taken you through the learning management system of the program as well, and also guided you how exactly these capstone projects and industry-based projects help you with your basically building your portfolio in product management while you're getting out there and trying to basically land your dream job in product management. So we would love to know, are you interested in enrolling into the product management professional program by UC San Diego? I'm launching a quick poll here. You can share your interest towards enrollment by clicking on yes on the poll. Would you like to enroll into the program? And learning consultants will simply be reaching out to you and will be taking you through a much more detailed walkthrough of the program as well. So we'll be talking about the enrollment steps very quickly after this. What is the program fee? Also, I'm aware that a lot of you folks have joined from different countries, so we'll be sharing the link towards the program as well, for where you can basically check out details for your own region as well, the upcoming cohorts as well. And we'll be moving towards the Q&A part of the session towards the end, as promised earlier. We have got plenty of questions in the Q&A box, and some interesting ones, I must say. And our speakers and we will be asking these questions. And meanwhile, Nathan and Suryansh, if you get some time, you can quickly just browse through the questions as well. It's a really good time to do that. And also, folks, in case you have any questions about the UC San Diego product management program or product management in general, please, this is a really good time to go and put down your questions in the Q&A box, because we'll be moving towards the Q&A.
Sure, Rasha, I can take it up.
Yeah, sure.
Right. Everyone, one learner has asked a good question. It says, will learners have to do all capstone projects or just one before activating the certificate, right? Therefore, how it works over here, learners, you need to mandatorily complete one, which will be evaluated and sent back to you. And that's how you will unlock the certificate. Nathan, you can correct me if any suggestions on top of it. But as a personal suggestion, because I also take capstone sessions, I always recommend my learners to complete all capstones for your practice. Because once you have practiced all six or how many of them are there, you get good hands-on exposure and good capstones to add in your portfolio in your resume. The evaluation will be done on one, but my suggestion is complete all. Nathan, am I making correct sense over here? Sure, thanks.
Yep.
Next, thank you. The next one is, is this a right program for someone with IT and data science background, or it will be a distraction? All right. One thing, this will never be a distraction. I'll tell you why. Because if you have got good background in IT and data science, that means you already possess good tech skills, which could be pertaining to programming languages and extensive experience in tech. Therefore, a PM role is a management role wherein you will be working in liaison with the tech team. That's the reason your tech expertise and experience will count also as an advantage in a PM role. Therefore, your background is actually an advantage if you switch to a PM role, wherein you will not be doing much of coding, so on and so forth, but you will be ensuring that things are done on time and as per client requirements. Therefore, it's a promotion from the current role that you are playing. How can someone with no tech or IT background be able to cope with these? Seems to be more of techs and IT base. I'll tell you a few things. I don't know your name who has asked this. Believe me, as a PM, you don't need to do coding. You don't need to create a database schema. You don't need to create a UI UX design. You don't need to have, as you see in on YouTube videos wherein you have an iPad and you start creating those designs. No, you'll have good people to get that job done for you. Your job over here as a PM would be to convey the requirements as per the client needs and ensure that they get it done on time, which means throughout the course that you will be given knowledge on tech and non-tech skills as we just saw, they will be more than sufficient. Because personally I have played that role, that's why I'm saying they will be more than sufficient for you to cover the role of a PM. Let's say in this entire course we are covering agile. So if I'm let's say Rasha is from tech and I'm a PM. Rasha says, hey Suryansh, you know what, I'll be delivering it in the form of MVPs. First MVP will be given to you after 1 week. Now today you may not know what a MVP is, but after this course you will definitely say, I think Rasha, MVP 1 can wait for 2 weeks. You don't need to hurry that much. You take your time, deliver it after 2 weeks. That's also is fine. This much capabilities and knowledge will definitely be given. Another thing, if let's say Nathan is from UI UX background and Nathan says, hey, I don't know the color scheme of what client is asking, or let's say I don't know the theme that is being used. Therefore, you can say, hey Nathan, we're looking just as the first part deliverable. Color themes and all will be implemented once the client is okay with the functionality. Therefore, you just prepare this and color themes and all, I'll send it to you. That will not be a concern. Therefore, enough and more tech skills, as we use the word, will be imparted throughout this course. And yes, some tech skills are mandatory. For example, Jira, Pulsemic, Figma, Google Analytics, Mixpanel, which are extensively covered using hands-on experience. So yes, I mean, hope this answers. Another one, okay,
Suryash,
yeah.
thank you so much for taking a few questions here before we basically go towards the Q&A part. I'm just quickly going to end this poll. So last 10 seconds, folks, for the poll here before we move on and take more questions here. So here you can just let us know that are you interested in enrolling into the product management program here by UC San Diego. You can share your interest as yes by basically responding to the poll which is live right now. Would you like to enroll into the program? Also, folks who are watching us live on our YouTube channel, I see you folks responding yes on the chat. You can basically click on the link which you see on the chat on the top of the live chat, which basically is linked towards the program, and you can share your basically enrollment request through that link. For the program there, please do that for folks who are sharing their interest for enrollment. And I think I'll be ending the poll now because I see most of you have responded for the poll. Thank you so much for that, and definitely a lot of interest towards enrollment here. Moving on to the enrollment steps of the program. So we need to have to follow the three simple easy steps here. So when the learning consultants from Simplilearn will be reaching out to you, they will be basically taking you through these three simple easy steps. So I'm just giving you an overview of that. So you are aware of it. The step one here is you will have to submit an application at askus@simplilearn.net. Step two here, the application will be going for review based on the eligibility and the criteria which I've already shared with you earlier. And based on that, you'll be getting admissions offer letter over mail from Simplilearn, from Learning Consultants. Also, a lot of you have asked where is the next upcoming immediate cohort. So the next cohort, which is the classes starting at 30th March, and the introductory classes for this will be happening on 16th March. Also, the program fee here for US candidates is 5,000 USD dollars, and for Indian candidates here, the program fee is 1,99,999 INR, including the GST. I know that a lot of you have joined us from different countries, so as mentioned earlier, I'll be sharing the link towards the program for you folks and other folks as well who have already shared their interest towards enrollment. You can go and check it out for much more detail, and also check out if there are any upcoming cohorts and also the program fee for your own region as well. So, and also, in case you have any questions, you can always reach out to us and ask us at simplilearn.net. I'm just quickly sharing that email ID on the chat here. So you can just save it even after the webinar. If you have any questions, you can just drop us your questions there. Moving on to the Q&A part, I think Suyanshi have managed to answer a lot of these questions from the Q&A box. But maybe let's just quickly browse through any questions which we can answer. We do have limited time. Maybe for a few minutes, how many questions we can.
Sure, Nathan, maybe you can take some questions if they pertain to university related.
Sure. So there was a question about the certificate and whether it's a degree equivalent. So this is a non-credit program. So as a non-credit program, there is no degree equivalent. That's why we're providing this award of completion for those who do finish the program. Simplilearn does provide its own certificate as well. But to the point around career goals, an employer is going to be looking at your ability to execute. They want to know that you have the skills and the capabilities in order to be a successful program manager. And so that's why the capstone exercise that Suryanush described is so critical for this program. Whether or not you have a little piece of paper that says you completed the program may or may not really matter to them. What's going to matter is, hey, do you have some evidence that you're able to solve these problems like we have within our company and deliver successful products for us? And that capstone exercise is essentially your portfolio that you're presenting to a potential employer. So that's what's going to be important for you when you go through this program, as less so than, say, that little piece of paper. But the piece of paper is also recognition that, hey, you devoted 8 months to this program and you did a great job, and we want to make sure that, hey, you are recognized for that achievement. But in terms of career goals, that capstone, the practical knowledge that you gain through the course, that's what's going to be important.
Thank you so much, Nathan, for taking up that question. I think we do have a question of how much the program cost. I've already shared that, and I've also shared the link towards the program as well. What are the tools, resources do we need to complete the courses effectively? Suryansh, have you answered this question by any chance? I'm so sorry if I might have missed it. What tools and resources do we need to complete the course effectively? The last one here in the Q&A box. Suryansh, you're on mute if you're speaking.
Sorry, how much does the program cost? What tools and resources do we need to complete the course effectively? Sure. See, Balsamiq, Jira, Figma, Google Analytics, Mixpanel. We'll be covering these extensively as a part of the curriculum. Therefore, these tools will be mandatory, be taken care of, including their access. Someone asked, do we need to pay for their access? So including the access will be taken care of throughout the course. And as far as I think this covers well the tools aspect. And resources would cover definitely your pre-reads that you will be going through, the self-learning concept that was mentioned while I was sharing my LMS screen, and the live classes. So once you have done this, then you will proceed to the capstone. And once you complete the capstone, get it reviewed, one capstone mandatorily, and that's when your course effectively gets completed, because your certificate gets unlocked. And as you saw on the screen sharing, I think there were many other tools in the live session that we were seeing. many other tools were being used while the session was going on. So yeah, I think Rasha, that goes well.
Thank you so much, Suryan, for answering that. I hope that answers your question. Not able to make out your name from the email ID. Please do let us know if you have any follow-up questions. Let me just see, like, let's see if you have any questions because
Yes, you will be taught Jira. I think one learner has asked now, are we going to be taught Jira? Yes, you will be not only be taught, you will be made to work on Jira. So yeah, you will be getting experience on Jira as well. Is it a prerequisite for anyone who wants to begin a startup? See, PM definitely this particular kind of skill set that you have, because I myself been an entrepreneur, right? So yes, these skills definitely act as a prerequisite no matter what startup you're going to start, because in any startup you're going to work with teams, and any startup you're going to sell either a product or a service. There's no other option. So you need to create that. You need to create that with the team. Hence comes your product management.
Yeah, to add to that, I mean, if you're in a startup, you typically only have one product or service that you're offering. And so you have to develop that one product or service. This program goes through that whole process of how to develop that product and make sure it fits for your market. You don't want to have a solution looking for a problem. You want to be able to solve the problem that customers actually have. So critical piece for a startup.
Oh, awesome. I think I managed to basically answer all of the questions here in the Q&A box. So thank you so much, folks. We'll be moving towards the end of the session now. We have exceeded the time just by a few minutes, but that's okay. So thank you so much, folks. Thank you for being an amazing audience and also sharing your interest towards enrollment. We saw a lot of enrollment interest there. So I think we'll be seeing a lot of you in the upcoming calls of the EC San Diego Product Management Professional Program. I would like to thank Nathan and Suryansh for joining us and taking the time out for this program review. Would you like to say something to the audience before we end the session, Nathan? And
Just
Suryansh?
thank you for attending today. Appreciate all the questions that came in, and hopefully we'll see your application as well.
Suryansh?
Thank you, learners, for being a part of this amazing session. I would just like to say this, that you're gonna have a good learning experience. Don't worry that your tech, non-tech background doesn't make any difference. It's a good learning experience. That's I would like to say, Rasha.
Thank you so much. Thank you, folks. We'll be ending the session now. Also, now just to remind you about the webinar certificate, you basically will be getting a post-webinar survey by Zoom now, and basically will ask you for your full name, which you would want to see on the webinar certificate for attending the webinar. So we will need those details for sending you that personalized certificate. So please do that once I end the session. So thank you so much, folks.